Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April, moving into early May 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarians out there. As we move from April into May, let's see what's happening, my guides. Talk to me. What's up with Aquarius here? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius. There's been a lot of strong, powerful energy around the whole zodiac in recent days and weeks. So can't wait to see what we have for you. What's going on? Let's get one oracle for my good friends here. Okay, cool, quick. So we have this Queen of Cups energy here in the front end. For some of you, you might be connected to a water sign. Now, yes, this is an oracle deck. It's not a tarot deck, but this energy always just reminds me of that emotional depth of the Queen of Cups. So for some of you, you might be feeling some big things in this time. For another portion of you, this could be a creativity. It could be love, so many different things. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So when we look at the imagery here, we see that lovely lady, and she has her foot dipped in the water there, very similar to the imagery that shows up in the Queen of Cups. So these are a lot of the similar themes that I was kind of already mentioning a little earlier, that this could be one, it could represent deep emotional connection with somebody. It could represent deep emotions in general. Queens generally represent our internal side, how we feel about things inside. And with the Queen of Cups, it's just that double dose of emotion. So just know you might just be feeling really, really strong things in this time. If not you, somebody else could be, if you're not connected to a water sign. So this could go a whole bunch of different ways. More things that I could think about with the Queen of Cups. She is extremely creative. So any sort of artistic expression is highly favored in this time. Are you finding some way to vent emotions or vent feelings, bring things out of the etheric into the material, or all highly favored when she's here? The only warning with Queen of Cups energy is not to suppress things. So that could be a big warning from Spirit about any sort of emotional suppression, because it could come bubbling up. So we're just going to put her right there for now. Let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright, and we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. So let's shuffle it up one time here for Aquarius. Late April, early May. What's going on, my guides? And while we shuffle up and get this ready to roll, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Surprising Return. Now, if something or someone or a situation hasn't popped back around, just know that that could still be valid for the coming days and weeks. That energy could bleed over. And that was the main name of the game in last week's reading, like cycles returning, or people returning, or things just popping up out of nowhere. So I wouldn't be surprised for a lot of Aquarians, if whether it's situations you've dealt with before or people, and I mean, for a little while, they might be popping back up. So let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards. What do we got here for Aquarius, please? Thank you. Quick. All right, so we do have some action starting us off with the Fool card, one of my favorite cards. That's the protagonist of the tarot deck. This is all about action. It's all about movement, right? It really favors anything new in our lives. Let's get a couple more. Quick. Hanged Man, complete opposite. Complete and total opposite energy here. All right, what is going on here, my good friends? There could be something that you feel 2 ways about, or there's something where it's like you don't know how to handle it or what you should do. Yeah, 2 of Pentacles makes so much sense. This has a lot of similarities to the Libra reading. That's one thing I will say, and it makes sense. You're both air signs, right? Even though Aquarius is the water bearer, you're an air sign. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. And I feel like this is going to be an extremely nuanced type of reading this week, as usual with Aquarius. But if you look here in the box, First look, first glance, we do have an intriguing mixture of things happening. We have two strong major arcana. We have fire. We have this one that could be a little earthy and watery, just a little stagnant energy in the center. Then we have this beautiful harmonious energy on the back end, where it's like we have double yin-yang types of vibes, where it's like light, dark, action, inaction. And we have this balanced, harmonious type of vibe here. So for some of you, now could be a great time for solving issues, solving problems, getting through some sticky situations. This energy really lends itself to that. Let's go through one by one and really start to piece this together, though, and build out the big picture. So position number one, we have the Fool. For a portion of you might be connected to an Aries. Okay, the Fool card, as I was mentioning, is the first major arcana in the whole entire deck. The Fool's Journey, it goes through all the major arcanas, right, if you're familiar with it. And this is a card of making a move, taking an action. There could be warnings against being spontaneous, and I'll talk about that when we get to the challenges of the Fool. But some of the good things about this card are a very jovial sense of being very happy, being happy-go-lucky. It's fun. It's a very fun type of energy, the Fool. But when we get to the challenge of it, it could represent somebody that's a little too spontaneous. It could represent somebody that acts before they think. So this is something we'll need to watch out for. Sometimes it's somebody taking a leap. It also represents things that are all new. So we'll see how this all plays out. Moving to the center, though, is where we find the complete total opposite of this Fool energy. We have the Hanged Man. So pretty much everything I just talked about, this card flips it on its head. Now, when we're talking about zodiac signs, this one could be represented by Virgo, also Scorpio. I mean, I know I've heard other people link it to other signs, but I think Virgo, Scorpio, whenever I see this Hanged Man. Whereas the Fool is about action and forward movement, the Hanged Man is about retraction, pulling your energy back and not moving whatsoever. So they're complete opposite flip-flops of energy. This card could represent somebody that is very self-sacrificial, somebody that puts the needs of others ahead of themselves. So for some Aquarians in this time, I know Aquarius energy is very humanitarian, you might put a lot of your energy into the betterment of other people whenever the Hanged Man is in the mix. This card is extremely analytical, so oftentimes it'll show up when somebody's planning something. Oftentimes the Hanged Man will show up when somebody is, they're pulling back their energy, but they got something in the works, or watching. This is a watcher, just like the Page of Swords. So we'll want to watch out with this, because whereas this one's about action and movement, this one's inaction and just watching while things happen. So I'm loving how the energy is building up, because this feels like it's either somebody of two minds about something or a situation that could go one way or another. And the reason I'm saying for a lot of Aquarians, you might be trying to see either both sides of a situation, or seeing the good and seeing the rough, or it's like, I want to see all sides of this. We have the Two of Pentacles here on the back end. This is an extremely harmonious energy. And notice, you see this person, they're juggling those pentacles. There's a universal infinity symbol depicted here as well. So it's like this yin-yang of energy still showing up all the way to the back end. This might be you saying, all right, well, it's good, but it's also rough, and I'm okay with it. Okay, it's like giving me that vibe, not like somebody settling for something, but seeing things for what they are realistically. I'm already getting a lot of intuitive vibes off this spread already. Now, as with all twos, decisions, choices, so there might be a decision or a crossroads you're at right here. I like the Two of Pentacles because it tells me that everything's going to be okay. It's super harmonious. But I'm also getting that weighing the options. That's another thing here as well, especially with all the things we already discussed. So you might be weighing your options and things like that. I want to dive deeper on all this, Aquarius. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, so what's happening here? Talk to me. What do we got for Aquarius? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Fool card. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any energies or messages off this you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Fool card. Why is the Fool here for my Aquarians? Thank you. Yeah. All right. So the Eight of Cups. Now, I don't necessarily feel like some of you might be in this mode where you're like, okay, I just want to hit the reset button on everything. Or we need to rethink everything from the ground up. Like, this needs to be done a completely different way. Bring that tower in. We're starting fresh type of energy. So some of you could be really drawn to vibes like that in this time, where it's like, all right, I need to start from scratch, or I need to reinvent myself. Somebody has that draw here. But another thing I'm picking up is this is all just plain out action. Now, the Eight of Cups isn't always walking away from something. Okay, like, yeah, this person's walking away from the cup. So yeah, sometimes it could represent that. Walking away from a situation, walking away from a person. It all depends. But to me, I feel like this seems like just action, making a move. So I feel like for a lot of Aquarians, if you're in a situation, if you're like deciding or weighing options or this and that, and you're finding yourself in analysis paralysis, Spirit could just be telling you, like, listen, make a move. Make a move, Aquarius. Like, you gotta shake up the energy. You gotta make something happen. Okay, because like, if you're not going to bring change to it, if you're not going to bring action and energy to it, it might fall flat, might fall stagnant. That's just the big energy I'm picking up here. But once again, I feel the urge for a lot of Aquarians. You might just want to hit the reset button on something. That's like a huge vibe with the Fool and Eight of Cups. It's like, okay, let's clean slate. Let's start this over, or hit that reset button. Let's keep moving. There's a lot of action here, that's for sure. So let's see what the Hanged Man has to say. Because as I already mentioned, that could be either somebody that's planning something or watching something. Let's see. Let's see. So why is the Hanged Man in the mix? Thank you. Very pessimistic here. Doubts. Doubts. Now, for a portion of you, watch out for anything financial, anything with money. Yeah, there's somebody that wants to do something. They want to make a move. They want to make an action, but they're really doubting themselves. Now, I do also feel like this is somebody that feels like they're dealing with a big problem here in the center. When I have the Hanged Man with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, okay, I cannot take any more energy coming towards me. I need to focus on this. Like, that's the vibe. Like, this Hanged Man is focused on this Pentacle in reverse. It's like, I need to get down to the root of this problem. I need to get down to the root of this situation. So I do feel for a lot of Aquarians, there might be something that pops up in this time, or something you're dealing with that you are either taking seriously or could be perceived as a big issue or a problem when this shows up, where it's like, okay, well, I wish I could change it, but or I wish I could do that. I wish I could go do all these things, but I have to figure this out. It's like giving me that vibe, like hyper focused on the problem. Now, for a portion of you, I did say this Fool could be very jovial. This Hanged Man could be extremely serious. Spirit might be telling you, like, hey, there's a little imbalance on how you're viewing a certain situation. There's just a lot of analysis happening here. So what are you brewing over? What are you thinking about? What are you considering? And if that's not you, it's somebody else that's in this mental place where it's just like thinking. Now, the Ace of Pentacles in the upright is one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. When it shows up in reverse, it's either somebody that is skeptical, doesn't believe something, nervous about false opportunities as well. But the main thing I'm feeling is what I already spoke about, where somebody's like, no, I have to deal with this. I wish I could do this. I wish I could go off and do this. No, but I need to deal with this problem or this situation right now. Okay, so let's keep moving over to the Two of Pentacles and see how this is going to end up. Okay. I mean, let's just see, because there's a lot happening here. And there's doubts. There's doubts in the center there. Okay, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It's okay to call in reinforcements and help if you need it. That's a thing. Now, I do know tons of people with very powerful Aquarius placements in my personal life. I vibe very well with Aquarians. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence. It could also be a card of hyper independence. And when I see it in reverse underneath the Two of Pentacles, just know if you feel like you're up against a problem or a situation or anything where it's like, I'm stuck on this, or I feel stuck here, it's okay to ask for assistance or help if you need it. There's nothing wrong with it. If you are wanting change, if you are wanting to solve something, the Two of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is a really good alignment for that. In the upright, it's all about abundance. In the upright, it's all about good material things coming into your life, but it's also planted and it's not moving. So when it's in reverse underneath this Two of Pentacles, to me, this does feel like, yeah, something's changing in the ether. And if that's what you're hoping for, it's going to happen. Okay, I really do feel like for a lot of you, a certain situation could change, but I feel like the main thing especially since we have this strong analysis and want for action and somebody hyper fixating on a situation or a problem. The Two of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is all about calling in help if you need it. And once again, I know Aquarius energy is all about their independence. They'll give you the shirt off their back. They'll help you whenever you need it. But when it comes to Aquarians asking for help, it's not too common. Not saying it doesn't ever happen, but Aquarius is one of those signs, similar to my sun sign, Aries, where it's like, all right, we'd rather go down with the ship than ask for help. Tell me if I'm wrong, all right? But I think a lot of Aquarian energy, and there's nothing wrong with that, but just know if you need assistance, you could ask for it, okay? Or you should, with what I'm seeing here. Bring in a fresh perspective, and I saw that in the Libra reading as well. So let's go through and do a quick recap here. I mean, Aquarius, just take from this whatever was hitting for you, because this reading was here, there, and everywhere. But if you kindly look in the box before the shadow card, we have the Fool card with the Eight of Cups in the upright. I do feel like somebody wanting to hit the reset button, wanting to switch something, wanting to change something, start fresh, start from scratch. But the energy that we're moving into it is like not allowing it. That's another vibe as well, where it's like, no. We need to figure this out first. We need to figure out what this problem or this situation is. We need to take this seriously and analyze it so this doesn't happen again. It's also somebody who is a little doubtful about something as well. So take that for whatever it's worth. When we get to the back end, we have the Two of Pentacles with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Changes coming to the situation, whatever it is you might be going through. A little slower than you might like, but it is there. But a big vibe I'm picking up for a lot of you is if you do feel like you're stuck on something, whatever it might be, it's okay to ask for assistance or help, okay? Because Spirit's kind of encouraging it, okay? So, or maybe someone's going to ask you for help. You never know. But yeah, please take a screenshot of that. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, Aquarius. Let's shuffle it up one time here, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got in the shadows for my Aquarian friends? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see just yet. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. I really do. Let's get you one shadow card, though. Tie this reading in a nice, neat little bow for my Aquarians. Thank you. Okay, King of Pentacles. Yeah. Some of you might feel like you're between a rock and a hard place in one form or another. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be it. When I have the King of Pentacles, you might just be dealing with an earth sign. For some of you, you might be just hyper business and money focused in this time. You could be really focused on career and earning those pentacles when the King of Pentacles shows up as the shadow card. Doesn't necessarily have to be a rough thing. But as with a lot of earthy energy, when we're looking at the shadow side of it, it could be a little stubborn. It could be a little averse to change. So when I see this showing up in the shadows, like, yeah, maybe some of you do feel a little bit stuck or feel like something's not progressing, something's not moving forward. Once again, I'll direct you back to some of the things that were showing up within the reading itself. If you're just business and money minded, though, in this time, that's definitely not a bad thing. For a portion of you, there could be some nice abundance coming in for you if that's your area of focus. But once again, if you do feel like you're running up against a brick wall with any situation you're dealing with, call in the reinforcements if you have them available. So yeah, Aquarius, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The April subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar and schedule at mastermetaphysics.com. And if you got your name in for the March subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced on April 1st. But for the April subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite decks. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you had to switch your zodiac sign, which sign would you choose to be out of the whole 12? So if you do that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. And I'll see you soon.